Hi guys, Sandy from the Padel School here. In this video today, we're going to review the two Adidas Metalbone rackets, which are the 2021 models. We've got the Metalbone and then the Metalbone Control. So we're going to look at the differences between them and also kind of explain which players these would benefit. So before we start the review, we're going to be giving away a Metalbone Control racket. Not this particular one, we'll give away a new one, courtesy of the paddlers. Now all you have to do is put in the description down below why you think a Metalbone would help your game. Obviously, we're only going to pick you if you're a subscriber, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. And in a week's time, we'll announce the winners on Instagram. Yep, so make sure you also follow the Padel School on Instagram. So when we're looking at the Adidas range of rackets, you've got the Adipower rackets, which are the most powerful rackets, and then you've got the Metalbone, which is a continuation of the Adipower Soft 2.0 from last year, the one that Ale Galan was using, and he's also going to be using this one this year. Now, the Adipowers are the most powerful. They're the ones with, a lot of the features, but these Metalbone also contain a lot of features. They're carbon aluminumized, they've got the octagonal shape, they've got the ridges, so you do get a lot of power from these rackets, but the difference is that you've got this ever soft material, this white soft material inside of the racket that gives you a little bit more control on that ball, and it's not quite as powerful as the Adipowers. So when it comes to the feeling on the racket, these are obviously slightly softer. This is one of my preferences anyway. And from the back of the court, I can really feel nice control on that ball if I'm hitting down to the feeds or if I'm going to hit a lob. And you can generate a little bit of power through the ground strokes, which I quite like. And then when you come to the front of the court, I really like the feeling you get on your volleys. Your kind of slice, control volleys, set up volleys into the corners of the court. For me, this is great. When it comes to the topspin smash, you don't get, or the power smash, you don't get as much power as the Adipower rackets, but you still get a lot of power on these rackets. It's a surprising amount of control, and I felt very comfortable both with the kind of Vibra and the Bandeja side, but also with the attacking topspin smash. One of the most exciting things about this racket is the new technology of the screw weights in the side of the racket. So you have them in both sides of the handle here. And these are, the silver ones are 2.5 grams, the red one 1 gram, and you have basically 4 silvers and 2 red in each of the racket when you get sent the racket. Now it comes with an Allen key and a little bag, so make sure you don't throw that away, and you can remove the screws, keep them in the bag, therefore you keep them in the same place. But the exciting thing with that is that you can change the weight and the balance of the racket. So if with the screws in, it makes it handle heavy, so it gives you a racket with a little bit more control. If you take the screws out, it makes the racket more head heavy. The balance moves in that direction, and therefore you can get a little bit more power on your smashes and things like that. And also it's good because if you're used to a certain weight, you can kind of put them in and take them out depending on what suits you. Now the rackets without grips on are about 365 grams, both of them, within a gram or two of that range. And obviously with grips on, it's gonna increase that. So you might feel more comfortable taking 1 or 2 of them out. I would recommend experimenting a little bit. Try taking a couple out, taking all of them out, putting all of them in, and seeing, what suits you. Maybe try, a couple of hours playing with each of those, and then you can make a decision and put them in according to how you feel. When it comes to the differences between the two rackets, it really only is the shape. Now you'll notice that the Metalbone is just a kind of slightly more teardrop shape, and the Metalbone Control is a slightly more round shape. The material, like I said before, is exactly the same. The extra round shape basically means that as it's slightly wider, in the side of the racket, it's slightly more distance to the center, and therefore it's just slightly softer. And if you're playing with them and you've got a lot of experience hitting with the rackets, you can notice that. But if you're kind of learning, it might not be so noticeable, but you might find that you're more comfortable with one racket or the other. Now, a lot of these premium rackets, like this is the top range of the racket. Now, a lot of them, I would say, are probably not for beginners because they're so hard. I know definitely the Adipowers is not necessarily, for beginners, but because these are quite soft, I think that they're a really good racket for also people learning the game. Like we've got some players here that use these that are beginners and they absolutely love the racket. So I don't recommend this only for advanced players, although it is a good racket for advanced players, but also I feel like beginners could also enjoy this racket. I'm sure some of you have already bought or tested the Metalbone racket, so let us know what you think about that. Also, don't forget about our giveaway yet, so you need to just put in the description down below why it would benefit your game to have a Metalbone racket, and then in a week's time we're going to pick one comment at random. We'll obviously make sure they're a subscriber, and we'll announce it on Instagram at the Padel School. We'll also probably announce it in the community section on the YouTube channel, so don't worry, if you're not on Instagram you won't miss out. Now on this side I'm also going to put a video on how you could be testing your rackets yourself if you want to experiment and see what could potentially be your next racket.